Welcome, everybody. Money for Lunch. It's always good to have you guys here. Thank you so much for stopping by. I want to say thank you so much for sharing the show and getting your continued support is absolutely vital. And I just want to say thank you so much for always supporting the show. All right, so quote of the day by Wayne Dyer. Transformation is literally means going beyond your form. Transformation literally means going beyond your form. Wayne Dyer. All right, let's jump into the show today. I'm being joined today by Ines Temple. Ines Temple is a successful entrepreneur, a career transition expert, and best-selling author. Her companies, LHHDBM Peru and LHH Chile, are the leading career transition and talent development organizations in both countries, and LHH is the world's leading outplacement company. Ines Temple, welcome to Money for Lunch.
Thank you, Bert. Thank you so much for inviting me.
You bet. All right, so let's dive into this and talk about how today's jobs are temporary and last only as long as they work for both the company and the employee. It's really become a very temporary job environment. Talk about this.
Yes, thank you. It is like that. What you said is absolutely true. I mean, if we are happy in a position, in a job, we'll stay there as long as we are invited to stay there. And if a company is happy with that, we'll do the same. But if the opposite happens, today it's important that we understand that we have to be always ready to jump back into the market whenever we want to do it or whenever we have to do it. And that all depends on our confidence in our level of employability. So that's why it's so key to keep leveling up our level of employability in this tight job market.
Yeah, all right. I like that. So let's talk about this. How to successfully identify your differentiating features, accomplishments, and sell them to your employers. Because a lot of times we're told that we shouldn't toot our own horn or we shouldn't talk about our successes. So how do we do this, correctly or carefully, or talk about this?
Yes, thank you. I think that first it's very important that we set up the right attitude towards our work. And for me, that starts with understanding that our career is our business, that we are all service providers, and that we need to provide the best service possible to our company client, to the company that's buying our services. So it's very important that we agree on with our boss or our bosses what is that they really expect from us, how is I'm going to present the added value that I'm contributing to the organization. So only then, when I understand what is that is expected from me, that we can start really making sure that not only that we provide the best service, but that we let our client / boss know that we are actually providing that services that he or she is paying for me to do. So it's not blowing your horn. It's just delivering what we're paid for, and making sure that we all agree that what I am delivering is exactly what they are expecting me to deliver. So it's a service. So we need to make sure our client is always happy with our service.
Yeah, I like that. All right, so let me ask you this, because one of the things that I think it was Deloitte, the accounting firm, had put out a report a couple of years ago saying that most people don't expect to be in their jobs for more than 5 years. So how can somebody measure their employability? How can they be prepared for, let's say, a job change, even when they're not looking for a job at the moment?
I guess that there is something very important going on in the world of work these days, and it's getting bigger and bigger, and that's related with disruptive technologies, automatization, and artificial intelligence. All of that is going to change the way we understand our jobs and the way we conduct ourselves there. So, of course, everybody really wishes, even though we say differently, to have a good position, a good job that would last for as long as we want. But that cycle is getting shorter and shorter. So it's not only that people are resigning and, my millennials looking for new jobs every 3 years. It's that companies are changing the way they conduct their business. So a lot of positions may not be the same, or not may even be there in the next few years. So it's important that all of us that provide services start really taking that into account in order to make sure that we can future-proof our careers. We, by keeping up our demand for our services, learning new skills and abilities, developing our network of contacts. So, trying to do the best that we can in our current job, but understanding that we may not have that job in the near future, or sooner than we expect.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. There is a lot of disruption going on. Everything is being disrupted. We see it. We saw it with the taxi industry, with Uber and Lyft. We're now seeing it in other areas. People are making predictions that it's going to disrupt the way investments are bought and sold. It's going to disrupt just about every possible category. Medicine is starting to use robots. We see there's a place in I think it's Seattle, Washington, that it's a burger joint that is also using robots to make their burgers. So we're seeing disruptive technologies in all areas.
Absolutely. So we can either sit down and wait and see what happens to us, or we can start understanding what's going on in my sector. How do I need to change and adapt and be flexible and transform myself into whatever the market is going, and take advantage of that? We don't want to be left out. We don't want to be one of millions that are, being on the verge of losing their jobs. We want to be ahead of that curve. And that's, understanding that our career as a business, as entrepreneurs of our own services, we really need to keep our sight far ahead of time, trying to be ready for what's coming. That can be great. It's not, that what's coming is all scary and bad. It's going to be great and fun, but we need to prepare for that.
Yeah. All right. So let me ask you this: how can somebody raise their personal brand, and fine tune their digital footprint? Because you're right. I think people have to be ready for change. So how can somebody raise their personal brand?
Very important. One, it's as I always begin with, it's integrity. We have to be very clear that we are the same in the business world, in our personal world. We are the same in the digital world, or in the real world. So once we have that very clear, and once we understand better where is our sector going, we start taking an audit of our own skills, abilities, talents, strengths, and trying to reinforce them and try to solve any other areas of opportunities that we may have. And then we start promoting our brand very actively online, which doesn't mean that we have to, pay for advertisement for our services if we are, professionals in. But what in that sense, like you or me. But what we really need to be is to make sure that all our tools in the digital world are up to date. We have to have our LinkedIn with a good professional picture, put up there completely fill up all the information. We need to make an audit into our Facebook and make sure that whatever any potential employer or boss will see there, it will add to my value and not take from it. And we need to start, keeping up with technology, maybe, downloading a couple apps and try to understand basic of coding, for example, or, subscribing to magazines that start putting your mindset into technology and things that are coming. I mean, technology can be great, can be a lot of fun. We don't have to be scientists in order to embrace technology. It's an attitude. It's a shift of a mindset, and that's what we really need to be looking forward to do.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, and I think that part of the deal is just like in most professions, you have to stay up to date in that profession. You have to constantly become more valuable to that employer by increasing your knowledge and your skills. And I think it makes sense to find out what's happening in your category. Start looking at things that might be coming, as you said, down the future. Start talking to people. Go to conferences and make sure that you know what's going on. And like you said, as far as building your digital footprint, make sure that your LinkedIn profile is up to date, your Facebook, your Twitter, or whatever else. Let me ask you this: do you believe?
Brett,
go ahead.
Sure.
Go ahead.
No. I was just going to comment on what you just said. But I work with thousands of people every year that have lost their jobs. For example, even people that work for 36 years in the same company and they expected to retire them. What we find is a lot of people have a problem with their attitude. They don't give their best to their employer because they put their minds into things like, well, but they don't pay me enough, they haven't promoted me, they don't like my boss, my former boss was better, or why should I do this extra work? They don't pay me for that. All these type of internal discussions, going on in our brains that distract us from what's important, which is we are paid to add value. We are paid to create value. What is that value that we are creating? So we should really concentrate. I mean, I try to focus every day to, get rid of any of the bad attitude that I may have in order to do my best at work. And that's what I see. A lot of people are really confused. They are really fighting themselves in order not to do their best. And that's critical.
I agree. I think that, when you look at somebody who starts thinking that they deserve more, they're entitled to more, it's really an issue of pride, right? And I come across these people every now and then where they think that, hey, I've been here for a few months, a few years, and I deserve more, and I'm being treated differently. And usually the answer is you have to work harder. If people don't know you're working, if they're not aware of the value that you're delivering, like you said, then you need to figure out what's going on. And maybe you need to go to your boss and say, how can I deliver more value? What can I do so I can be of value to my department or to the company or things of that nature? Because really, it doesn't matter whether you've been there a few days, a few months, or a few years. You have to be humble enough to say, well, man, if I'm not being promoted, if I'm not where I'm at in the company, then I got to figure out what I need to do to change that. And I think most people, like you said, they're saying they're thinking that they are better, that maybe they deserve something, and maybe they do, but something has to change. And sometimes you have to leave the company if you're not being valued enough. But to sit there and complain about it and to have a bad attitude is not the answer.
Absolutely. And you know what? We always say that there are three enemies of our career. And you just mentioned one, entitlement. The second is complacency. Saying no, I've been successful like that. Why should I change? And the third one is arrogance. Really believing that you're better than the rest.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. It's not.
It's not easy.
um, it's amazing how difficult, what do you call it, we as humans can make things more and more difficult than they need to be. Let me ask you this. With your experience,
Yes.
What skills make the fundamental difference in one's employability?
Oh, well, there are two types of skills, obviously, and I write a lot about that in my book, which is called, as you know, You Incorporate. One are the technical skills that we need to have in order to do our work well, and for that we need to keep updating them permanently. But there is another set of skills that are extremely important. That are the soft skills, social skills, our ability to communicate, our ability to establish good relationships with people, our level of emotional intelligence, our capability to make presentations, to write well, to work in a team, to be flexible to new ideas, changing environments. All those soft skills, all those skills that make us more human are going to be more and more valuable in the future, where machines will be taking all the routinary tasks that we have to do that what we don't like. Those will be done by machines. So the human part of us, our capability to innovate, our creativity, those things, will be more valued than ever. So we really need to start working on that, our ability to see reality in a different way, to create, to adapt, to innovate, and especially to be good to people, good with people, good talking to people, good communicating with people. Because at the end of the day, machines will only serve us, but people are still going to be our clients and our bosses and those who decide about our careers and our future. Those who are going to talk well about our reputation, our image, and our credibility, or those who won't. And it all depends on us, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so glad that you brought that up, because you're right. Machines are here to serve us, and they're going to take over a lot those jobs that are routine and maybe that we don't like so much. However, it's always going to come down to you and your clients. It's always going to come down to how you make your clients feel.
Absolutely. We are a business. We sell our services. So it's so important that we treat our career as our own business with an entrepreneurial spirit, making sure that we have happy clients, that we are always attentive to find new clients whenever we want or we need. So that approach to our career is what makes all the difference of us being complaining and complacent and arrogant and entitled, with us being business people, attentive to the services that we are delivering and the quality of those services, and who are buying my services and who are recommending my services, and who is happy with that. So it's our own decision ahead of time. Where I am, where do I want to go, what do I have to do in order to get there, what do I need to change, why do I need to transform myself into, in order to keep on having a very successful business, which is my own career. So that's the whole idea. I guess that's what sets the attitude in the right point.
Yes. And I like that, of thinking of your career as your business, because it really is, right? I mean, your career is your business. It's also your reputation, all those things. It's your brand. And people are going to know you for showing up on time and being a hard worker, or they're going to know your brand for not being on time, not being dependable. And it's just amazing how, by looking at your career as your business, I think you'll take care of it better. I think you'll behave differently.
Absolutely. I mean, I've been working with people, helping them from their careers for over 25 years. That's why I wrote that book. In Peru has been extremely, in Latin America, successful. We have had 17 editions out. And now that's translating into English as You Incorporated, Your Career is Your Business, and it's selling well because we all need to understand that, the new world of work, as we said before, that's changing so fast. We need to prepare for that, Bert. We cannot just lay down and think that, no, nothing is going to happen to me, because it's not true. All of us are going to be impacted, and the whole idea is that impact will be good for us. We need to create that positive impact in our careers by taking advantage of this attitude that you just mentioned, treating our career as our own business.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I like that. So the book that is being translated is You Incorporated?
Yes, You Incorporated, Your Career is Your Own Business.
Yep, You Incorporated, Your Career is Your Own Business. Available at Amazon?
Everywhere. Local bookstores, Amazon, all digital stores. Yeah, it's you know what, and it's very easy to read, and it's very, I didn't write the book for academics or, people in. I really wrote for simple people just like me, people that really want to read like in 3 or 4 hours. You are over the book and you got the concepts, and it's nothing complicated. Because I have a mission. My personal mission is to help people understand this, to higher up their employability levels, to be aware of where are they going to. That has what has moved me all my life. I'm passionate about people's careers, and if I can help people also in the U.S. now, I will be more than fulfilled by that.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right. So, if somebody wanted to find out more about Ines Temple, do they go to InesTemple.com? Where do they go?
Yes, exactly. There. I have 800 articles and videos. I have over 100 infographics and articles in English. The book is obviously in English. And everything is there. It's free for anybody to use and enjoy and, share the knowledge with friends. I think it's important, I think that nobody has to be left behind. Nobody has to feel unhappy or unemployed. We all need to keep on moving ahead, and that's what I'm trying to do. People like you and with your wonderful program are helping me a lot to accomplish this mission of mine.
I love it. Ines Temple, I want to say thank you so much for stopping by. And again, if you guys are interested in converting your career into a brand, check out Ines's book, You Incorporated, available on Amazon or wherever your favorite books are sold. Ines Temple, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you, Bert. It has been really a pleasure and an honor to talk to you. And I'm here whenever we want to talk again, and I will be more than happy.
All righty. Good stuff there. Good stuff there from Ines Temple. I love the work that she's doing. And the book, again, is called You Incorporated. Let's share this program with everybody you know. Let's share this episode. Let's help as many people as we can to start thinking about their careers as their business. And maybe share this program with your employees. Let them know what it takes to be successful. As always, my friends, thank you so much for stopping by. Remember, you were created to succeed.
Tune in Monday through Friday here on Money for Lunch. And check out our website at moneyforlunch.com.